Hello class, welcome back to another section of my intensive calculus course. Still on applications of differentiation. In this class, we are going to look at increasing and the decreasing test. As we looked at different models of functions, we saw that functions increases at certain points, then stops, then also increase or change direction. We consider the stationary points, which are the stopping points. In this video, we are going to consider the increasing and the decreasing parts. In the stationary points, we said that f prime of x, the gradient there, keeps on, is 0, that is stationary. But for the increasing, what you are going to do is f of that value, x, should be giving us a decreasing value. So what you are saying is f prime, if the gradient there is greater than 0, then you see that the function is increasing. If I find the gradient at that point and the function is increasing, then I will see that my function is what? Increasing at that point. So the gradient there should be greater than 0. But if the gradient there is less than what? 0, then you say the function is decreasing. So it's 3. If the gradient there is 0, we say it's stationary point. If the gradient is greater than 0, we say it is increasing. Finally, if the gradient is less than 0, we say it is decreasing. I have a question here. Let's solve that so that you understand increasing and the decreasing test. I have f of x to be equal to negative x to the power 5 plus 5 over 2x to the power 4 plus 40 over 3x to the power 3, then plus 5. Determine all intervals for which this particular function is increasing and decreasing. We need all the intervals for which this function is increasing or decreasing. If I draw this curve here, this part to this part is what? Increasing, and I can have an interval. At this point is 0. This part is decreasing. So exactly that is what we have been asked to find. The first approach to this question is to find your critical point. That is how you know your peaks, your resting stages. So how do I find my critical point? F prime of x is equal to 0. So I'm going to get, this is going to give me negative 5x to the power 4, then plus, this will multiply, I'm going to get 10x to the power 3, then plus 40 x to the power 2. My 5 remains 0. So negative 5x to the power 4 plus 10x cubed plus 40x squared should be equal to 0. I factorize x squared out. Let me see 5x squared out. I'm going to get, let me make it negative rather. So negative 5x squared out. I'm going to get x squared minus 2x, then here minus 8 is equal to 0. So my x, negative 5x squared will be equal to 0, making my x to be equal to 0. Then my x squared minus 2x minus 8 will also be equal to 0. Then how do I do? I find my points, negative 2 and 8. I'm going to get negative 2 and 4. So s is equal to negative 2 and 4. Therefore, my critical points are 0, negative 2, then 4. But the question is not interested in critical points. It says we should determine the intervals for which this function is increasing and also decreasing. I'll draw my number line. We want interval. On this number line, we're going to represent this critical point. So here will be 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. I'll have here 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 is one of my critical points, 0. 4 is one of my critical points here, 4. then negative 2 is another critical point I have here. So what you're going to do is, we are going to take number on the left side and right side of each critical point to see if that interval is increasing or decreasing. So what you are going to do is take notes. I'm starting from the negative 2. I'll take any number here and I'll find the functional value by putting the number into the derivative, that is the f prime, because they say that if f prime of x is greater than 0, then it is increasing. So let's see. My f prime as I got was this expression. So take note. So if I put a number, choosing any number here, I can choose negative 3. When I put negative 3 into this function here, I'm going to get negative, so f of negative 3 is equal to what? Negative 5, open bracket, negative 3 all to the power 4, plus 10, negative 3 to the power 3, plus 40, negative 3 all squared. Then I simplify. Negative 5, open bracket, negative 3 to the power 4, plus 10, open bracket, negative 3 to the power 3, plus 40, open bracket, negative 3 to the power 2. I'm getting negative 315. F prime of x gave me negative 315. What does it mean? Meaning that place is decreasing. We had a negative value, decreasing. So my f prime of x is less than what? 0. Let me come to the right side of negative 2. I'll choose any number, say negative 1 here. I'll put negative 1 into the functional value. So wherever I had negative 3, I'll make it negative 1. So negative 1. Get a calculator with you so that you do as I do. Then you put negative 1 everywhere you see negative 3. That gives me 25. So f prime of x is equal to 25. So my f prime of x is greater than what? 0. Let me come to the right side of 0. I'll choose a number, say 2. Then for 2, wherever you see negative 1 in the function, the calculator puts 2. So get your calculator with you. You do as I do for maximum cooperation. That is giving me 0. F prime. Sorry. Let me put it in it again. So I said we are choosing 2. So when you choose 2, you're going to get 2, 160. So f prime of x is equal to 160. So my f prime of x is greater than 0. Then the final interval here, the number or the parts at the right side of 4, I will choose 5. So put 5, because 5 is here. To test, you put 5. You put 5. Now let's see what you get. Negative f prime of x is equal to negative 875. Therefore my f prime of x is what? Less than 0. Now I got this side and this side decreasing, and this side and this side increasing. The question asks for interval. So how do we get our interval? So it is from negative 2 towards negative infinity. That is giving us a decreasing. So open brackets, negative infinity, then 2, negative 2. It's not inclusive. You don't add a critical point to it. Then when I come to this side, I'm going to have from negative 2 towards 0 is increasing. Then I'm going to have from here, from 0 towards 4 is increasing. Then also from here, that is 4 to positive infinity is decreasing. So we write decreasing is equal to the negative infinity to negative 2 and 4 to positive infinity. Then my increasing is simply equal to negative 2004. That is the intervals. This is the end of this class. See you in the next class. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have any question, any problem, drop it in the comment section. Thank you.